Next speaker is Tom Kvisle. Tom is President and Managing Director at Westerdals College here in Oslo. He has broad experience from the field of communication, from the media and culture industry, for example, earlier. And he will give us his views now, what is working and what doesn't work. Please, Tom.
Hello, everybody. For the first thing is that it was an inspirational and interesting presentation from Gunhild. Thank you for that. I'm going to talk about communication and how to change behavior through communication. It's a big issue, and I only got 5 minutes, so this is only going to be a kind of overview. How to change people's behavior through communication is extremely difficult, of course. We have seen that in earlier historical periods that have used communication as in many ways a communication form that could change, and we have seen they have changed people, they have changed societies, but also in many ways they have used communication to change societies in bad ways. For example, in the Nazi regime in the 30s and 40s. Also, the EAT project have a possibility to establish a communication platform that could function, that could change people's behavior in a more positive way. They have already established, as we saw and heard from Gunhild, a kind of event, a kind of platform where you can meet politicians, scientists, and other profiled persons. And of course, that's the first step, and it's a good platform to build a more total communication strategy on. And the next step, of course, is to reach the common people, the ordinary people. And how are we going to do that? And is it possible? I think I have to go back. Traditionally, when you're talking about communication strategies that should and have the goals to change people's behavior, or you have campaigns, attitudes campaigns. There have been a classical theoretical model that says that if you give people knowledge or facts and you stimulate them to change their attitudes, automatically they change behavior. That seldom happens. In a few, maybe a few occasions, some projects, some campaigns, that has been the results. But in many, many communication campaigns, we haven't seen that automatically change of behavior. And we have done research, evaluations that says that people have the knowledge, they have the right attitudes, but why don't they change behavior? It's a complex question and a complex case to look into. They talk about some problems with people that they are too focused on themselves. They feel the moral pressure is too high. They feel they need for displacement. It's overkill, too much information, so they react differently. So there's a lot of issues that have been discussed. Why don't they change behavior? Also, that and that could be the problem with the EAT project. We very often talk about alienation. people feel that they don't identify with the sender. So, okay, I accept the facts, I accept, and I might think they have rights, I have the attitude, but in my life, it's not possible to change behavior. One of the areas and one of the conclusions that have been made when you're talking about communication strategies in this area is that you need to create a dialogue. It's not possible to tell people what to do, what to think, because then you get the opposite reaction. So dialogue is a key word. I'm going to show you a short ad that are using both facts and emotions. I'm both talking to the heart and to the brain, and it's interesting because here we see an organization who are using their area, their platform, to communicate positive values, and they are doing it in their own way and to their own target group. No sound? That's important.
¡Que me des el dinero, cojones! Algunos chicles, algunos manís y algo de beber.
Do you want a plastic bag with that?
¿Una java plástica? ¿Estás loco o qué? Se hacen 600 billones de jabas plásticas todos los años. Las tortugas y otros animales se las comen y mueren. Y tú me preguntas si quiero una java plástica. I got my own goddamn bag.
If young people in Europe change their behavior when it comes to bags, it's I'm not certain, but it's a good example of how you can create a good kind of communication tools when you're talking about behavior changes. And I think the EAT project has a lot of these elements. I think if they're doing the right thing, if they are maybe get some advice from people who are working a lot with the communication and complex communication strategies, it's possible for the EAT project also to reach further out, not only to scientists, to politicians, and to the companies. Because if this is going to have any effects, you have to reach the common people, and they have to change their behavior. But one of the most important elements when you are talking about these kind of campaigns, that you have a credible sender. They have to believe in you, and I think that the EAT project has a lot of credibility to start with. So that's a positive point. A clear message, of course they have. They say that the world is maybe end up in a kind of a hell if we now don't change our way of producing food, how to look at our traditional way of producing food and how we are eating. Proper analysis, audience analysis. Of course, that's also a big question, and of course it's different target groups you're going to reach, but to understand them, and if you are going to solve that key problem, going from attitude to behavior change, you have to do a solid analysis on the target groups. And understanding the context, I was talking yesterday with people who said that if you meet people or employees in Mexico, in Congo or Burma, they live in a totally different context. Then, of course, the target groups here in Scandinavia. So, and the big question, the big job is to create a creative strategy and a story around your project that people believes in and that communicate. I'm going to be fast now. So when you are trying to create a story and you're trying to create a creative strategic platform for your campaign, it's a lot of questions that you have to deal with and you have to take stand for. Are you going to communicate and look to the heart or the head? Are you using fear or positivity? Fear is also good. Look at anti-smoking campaigns. They use fear and they have succeeded. Confirmation of guilt, of course. Identification or detachment. A lot of the campaigns that have the best results, they say afterwards, that's because people have identification with the sender. So it's important. Selflessness, moralism, honesty, or great fiction. It's not only. It was a famous man who said that don't destroy a good history with facts or with the truth. So it's something there. Or shall you use, as you saw in the film from MTV, humor in your communication story? I think I stop there because I have no more time. But we're coming back to these questions in a few minutes. So thank you.
Thank you, Tom.